Student loan forgiveness updates, stimulus check updates, peace talks. We got a lot to cover today, guys. Now, we were warned, and I hope that you guys listened. We are now seeing even more massive layoffs in different markets, and we may have seen one of the biggest one for the year. I mean, how are we supposed to prepare when a lot of us are in so much debt? Now, this reminds me, the debt that's supposed to be forgiven has around 40 million students in limbo right now. It would have been better to provide the fourth stimulus check. That may have passed much quicker. I mean, do you guys agree? Comment yes or no down below. Also, we're starting to see more signs that peace may be sooner than later, with representatives of Vladimir Putin willing to talk about it. Finally, some good news, right? Are we finally going to see an end to the war? For your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the US economy, the stock market, fourth stimulus package updates, passive income, social security, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home's protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below. Never be caught off guard by another very expensive home repair again. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is down below. All right, guys, layoffs, they're happening. They're happening across the country. And whether we would like to admit it or not, the Fed's plan is at work. Twitter was one of the more notable ones, as there was so much controversy about how people were just straight cut off and how they couldn't even access their work emails overnight. But sources say that they are already trying to rehire some of these people. But the big question is why? Well, because some layoffs were made by mistake. These people were actually necessary to build new features that Elon Musk wanted on the platform. Oops, my bad. Only around 3,700 people were released, and I'm not even sure if the people who were asked to come back actually accepted their jobs back. Me personally, I'd be pissed. Oh wait, you need me now? You better double my salary. Matter of fact, pay me half that salary up front. I'm just saying. But during this time, it's hard to be super picky with employment, especially if it pays well enough to kind of pay your bills, provide 3 meals a day, little bit of money to invest in the stock market, maybe even build some passive income. Give us at least one vacation a year. How many of you are in need of a vacation right now? Did you even get a vacation in the last year? If you were earning an extra $2,000 a month in passive income, what would you do with it? Anyway, now, although, as the Fed said, expect a softer labor market. Now, it sounds like Mark Zuckerberg heard that loud and clear, because they're planning to lay off 11,000 employees. 11,000 people are going to be out of work. Now, let me repeat that just for emphasis. I said 11,000 people. So here's what Mark Zuckerberg had to say about it in this blog post. So he said, "Today, I'm sharing some of the most difficult changes that we've made in Meta's history. I've decided to reduce the size of our team by about 13% and let more than 11,000 of our talented employees go. I want to take accountability for these decisions and how we got here. I know this is tough for everyone, and I'm especially sorry to those who are impacted." End quote. Facebook may have just had a bigger impact in the 2020 election because a Washington state judge just slapped them with around $24.7 million in fines for intentionally violating campaign finance disclosure law. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson said that this amount, the maximum allowed, was appropriate given that Facebook was sued back in 2018 for the same law. The company was asked to divulge necessary information to the public regarding names and addresses of those who bought political ads, the targets of the ads, how they were paid for, and how many views each got. Well, Facebook refused to give in and even said that it's virtually impossible to comply with it, even though they have an archive of this information. Ferguson said this about them, quote, "I have one word for Facebook conduct in this case: arrogance. It intentionally disregarded Washington's election transparency laws, but that wasn't enough. Facebook argued in court that those laws should be declared unconstitutional. That's breathtaking. Where's the corporate responsibility?" End quote. Well, where is it? I guess this is just another problem added to Mark Zuckerberg's plate. Now, one problem that I'm looking at is the millions of students who are waiting on student loan forgiveness. They announced this months ago, right? Was this just to get votes? But where's the money? Are you seeing checks hitting your bank accounts, guys? I know that some students are set for refunds, and obviously 40 million are waiting to have their student loans forgiven. So there's something about announcing something that isn't set in stone yet that makes me a little bit nostalgic. I wonder why. fourth stimulus check promise. Excuse me. Sorry, got something caught in my throat. Did I remind you guys that they promised another payment but never sent them out? Now, I hope that this is not the case for the student loan forgiveness situation here. And I'm curious though, what if this forgiveness doesn't go past the Supreme Court? How do you think that people are going to react to it? I hope we don't see riots in the streets. Will it be similar to how we feel about the fourth stimulus check that we were promised but never received? Or are people just going to accept it and go about their business? Now, I know if I had a $10,000 student loan and they were promising to forgive me on that, that's almost like losing out on a $10,000 stimulus check from the federal government. Now, speaking of acceptance, Dr. Mehmet Oz called John Fetterman to concede in the Senate race in Pennsylvania. He said in a statement that he wishes Fetterman and his family the best and that his supporters should help in bringing the country back together. He also said this, quote, "We are facing big problems as a country and we need everyone to put down their partisan swords and focus on getting the job done. With bold leadership, that brings people together. We can create real change," end quote. Now, as of the recording of this video, the House may already be in favor of the Republicans while the Senate was still a toss-up. The win in Pennsylvania is key for the Democrats in keeping the Senate. Only time will tell if the blue wall will be able to contain a red wave. All-time favorite Governor Ron DeSantis, on the other hand, had a great night as he crushed Democratic Representative Charlie Crist by 19 percentage points or around 1.5 million votes. Wow. Experts are saying that DeSantis, he gained this popularity during the C-19 era, and it shows. You don't necessarily win by more than 1 million votes if people don't agree with what you're implementing. DeSantis, like other governors, also provided state stimulus checks to residents and is clearly helping out more than it's hindered. Is your state handing out state stimulus checks like Ron DeSantis is doing for his state of Florida? Now, the win may also be showing that Ron DeSantis may have a clear intention to run for president in 2024 when this happened.
And so today, after 4 years, the people have delivered their verdict. Freedom is here to stay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, thanks to the
Not every Republican is happy, though, as former President Donald Trump says that things might get ugly for DeSantis if he decides to run against him, with Trump expected to discuss his re-election plans by November the 15th. Now, he also said this about DeSantis, quote, "I don't know if he's running. I think if he runs, he could hurt himself very badly. I really believe he could hurt himself badly. I don't think it would be good for the party," end quote. Now, I don't know if this is a covert threat, but I think it's funny how Trump always repeats himself. Anyway, but I am intrigued to see how this plays out. It may work out in favor if they agree to work together, but I'm doubtful about which of the two would agree to take a back seat in 2024. Personally, I can't see Trump taking a back seat. Now, speaking of a back seat, peace talks in Europe have sat there long enough, but there are now signs that are pointing that it may be within our grasp now. So the White House just confirmed that the lines of communication with Putin and his country are still open. Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, he said that the talks are actually going on under a specific nature. He said this, "We have done so when it's been necessary to clarify potential misunderstandings and try to reduce risk and reduce the possibility of catastrophe, like the potential use of nuclear weapons," end quote. This gave me a slight breath of relief, as I don't think anybody wants a nuclear war at this point. Peace is definitely still the best option if you ask me. And with that, we all know that the best option to help Americans efficiently is through stimulus checks. And if you're from California and you're eligible to receive one, expect a slight delay. Even though stimulus checks are expected by the middle of this month, you may get the funds by November 22nd. States are still pushing for direct assistance, and I'm hoping that the federal government finally takes notice and follows through with their promises. But what do you guys think about today's updates? I'm looking forward to hearing what thoughts you guys have about today's decision, so definitely feel free to share it in the comments below. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to keep updated with everything that matters to you regarding our country, our economy, and your bank account, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you want the truth, y'all know where to get it. Appreciate you guys watching. You guys are awesome. This is Ron. I wish you great health and better days to come. I'll see you on the next one.